Hi, this is Brad from Pro Wrestling Junkies, and welcome to Getting to Know a Junkie. Today's junkie is from Dallas, Texas, and you may have heard of him as Giovanni Tuhati. His real name, his legal name, though, is Jovan Menacho. To put that in context, say he murdered someone this evening. Online tomorrow, it wouldn't say Giovanni Tuhati murdered someone. It would use his real legal name. But let's get to know the man. Jovan, how are you?
I'm good. If I killed somebody, I pray they use Giovanni Tuhati. I would at least go to conviction happy.
It would give you some legal, I'm no lawyer, it would give you some legal wriggle room, you know?
Exactly.
Totally.
I see you have my skyline back there.
What was it? Oh yeah, totally. Is this look familiar to you? Do you see this every day?
It's very beautiful. I see it when I go into downtown Dallas.
How far outside of downtown Dallas do you live?
About 30 minutes.
You know what I wanted to ask you? Okay, in Dallas, what's the baseball team affiliation?
We are the Texas Rangers. They're
okay.
Out of Arlington.
Okay, and that's where the Cowboys play in Arlington as well?
Yep, they're actually like 5 minutes walking distance from each other, the stadiums.
Oh wow! Now, is there anything else around it, or is it just like
you have
lots?
2 stadiums, parking lots, and Six Flags over Texas. Our big amusement park.
So there's not like an eating district and like shops and stuff.
Well, the ballpark kind of has this place now called Texas Live. It's an accumulation of like different kind of eateries and a hotel now, and I think they may actually put apartments in soon. So
okay. How far from where you live do the Rangers and Cowboys play? About
15 minutes most.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not bad at all.
Oh no, the city is fairly easy to travel around. That's why Dallas is so big, but it's basically a big circle when you hit the highways. What's
the temperature like this time of the year down there? I'm sorry, these are some of these questions may be like ignorant, but I'm ignorant.
No, it's all right. Right now we are mid to low 70s. Last week we dipped down into 50s, and everybody here was going crazy because it wasn't December yet, so we shouldn't have gotten that cold.
What's Christmas Day usually temperature-wise there?
If we're lucky, low 70s. If we're unlucky, we're looking at 40 to 50s.
Okay. Oh, God, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, we don't know what snow is. We know what ice is, but not snow.
Yeah. Okay, here's another ignorant question. Does everyone in Texas own a pair of cowboy boots?
I would say no, because I have fat feet and I don't own cowboy boots.
Oh, so you don't own any?
No, I wish I did. My foot's too big for them. They're very slimming at the toe.
Yeah.
And when you have like fat feet, it's not good to squish your toes together like that.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Not at all.
So hold on, you do a lot of podcasting.
Yep.
Correct. Especially for Pro Wrestling Junkies. Are you doing 2 shows currently?
Currently, right now, I am a full-time member of the Junkyard, which is the Pro Wrestling Junkies, one of the official pod squads. Mm-hmm. And then we do that live. So we do the recorded things that you'll hear every Tuesdays that drop on wherever you hear your podcasts and YouTubes. And then special showings will go directly straight to the page and to YouTube, and we will do our live predictions, live reactions. But it feels like 2 shows, but it's only 1.
Yeah, but are you having fun doing it? Because it's great. It seems like you guys are. Everything flows really nicely.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm doing it with Spencer, who is known as Number 11, and Dennis Day Jr., DDJ, who's been a member here on To Meet a Junkie. And I love those guys, man. I honestly have made really good friends through this page, and then doing this podcast. It's just brought us together in a way that I wouldn't have seen coming.
Yeah, it's been especially you've heard of this COVID thing going around.
I'm in Texas. We don't have COVID.
Oh, you guys don't have it down there?
Oh, yeah. No, we act like we don't.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. All right. But like it's been such a great outlet having Pro Wrestling Junkies, and I'm not plugging Pro Wrestling Junkies right now, but I'm saying, yeah, I've met a ton of people like doing things I typically wouldn't be doing, if I hadn't come across this group or anything.
I definitely get that. I never would have in my wildest dreams been like, oh, I'm going to plug a microphone into a computer and talk to people I've never met before for hours at a time.
And feel comfortable doing it.
Exactly, and have fun doing it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you were a little boy at one point. I'm pretty positive. Is that correct?
That would be correct.
You were a little boy at one point. All right. So where did you grow up as a kid? And what were you like?
I was the small little wrestling fan who, I was an only child, so my wrestling sparring partner was my father.
Okay.
He watched, I watched, and I can't remember the countless number of times that my mom would come home and my dad had me in the sharpshooter and she's yelling at him, "Get him out of that!" And my dad's like, "He's not tapping," and I'm on the floor yelling, "I'm not gonna tap." So that was just another day when I was little, man. It was spending time with the family, watching wrestling, and honestly, just a lot of crazy crap like that.
That's you're I say this to a lot of people. You're very lucky you have that relationship with like your parents, especially your dad. Is your dad still watch?
He does. I'm getting him into AEW.
Nice.
He's watched a few of the episodes with me. The only thing is when Jericho gets out there, he still sees Jericho as the lion tamer, And for him, he's like, "Damn, I remember when Jericho started and Jericho's old and well, hell, I'm old." I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay, man.
Yeah, totally. Don't think it out so far.
Yeah.
So do you and your dad, have you guys gone to shows together?
Actually, the funny thing is, and man, I wish I would have brought that piece out for later, but me and my dad's first show together was the WrestleMania that came to Arlington. I believe it was WrestleMania 32.
Wow.
We scored standing room tickets at the Cowboy Stadium.
Okay.
And I was pumped up because that was AJ Styles and Chris Jericho was the opener.
Sure.
Me and my dad, big fans of old school guys. The Rock was out there. Taker was there. But then the father-son moment between Zack Ryder and his dad when he won the Intercontinental Championship happened that night. And Zack Ryder's dad jumps in the ring. He hugs him, and I see my dad, and he's misty-eyed, and he hugs me, and we just had like a moment.
That's amazing.
And, yeah, I bought the autograph photo, an 8x10 of that moment when Ryder has the gold.
Yeah.
And it's just the color of the belt, and the rest is in black and white, and it's signed. And I was like, man,
wow.
that holds a special meaning because of that moment, what it meant to me, and then what it meant to him as well, because he only had it for that night. But that was a hell of a night for everybody.
That's great. So can I ask you a question about the standing room only tickets?
Yes.
Okay. So what does that mean at that stadium? Like, are you restricted to certain places?
So the standing room only ticket is what they call the SRO.
Mm-hmm.
For Cowboy games, they're normally $40 to $50. For WrestleMania, they were going for around $100.
Okay.
So there's these built-in like pavilion areas in the stadium. The top level of the stadium has a nice sitting area, and the second level has a semi-nice area. But then every stairwell in the building has a reserved standing area where you could watch over the field.
Oh, okay.
And I used to work at the stadium when it first opened. I'm a big football fan. I'm a Cowboy fan. So, of course, I worked there for the perks.
Wow.
And I knew exactly where we were going to stand during WrestleMania. I told my dad, I was like, look, we're going to get standing room only, but we're going to have a great view. If you could stand the entire time, we're going to be great. If not, we'll hit to the pavilion that has the sofas and take breaks, as needed.
Yeah.
But no, we Iron Manned it out. After 4 or 5 beers, we stood the whole night.
Wow, that is awesome though that you knew exactly where to go and where that's. So how long had you worked there for?
I worked at the stadium from its inception all the way to the Super Bowl that was held in Arlington.
Wow, and what were you doing?
I was security. I started as ticket security, which is the people who kind of watch you while you come in the gates and make sure you're fine.
Okay.
And then I transitioned, and my ending point was considered stadium security.
Oh,
So
wow.
at the Cowboy Stadium, if something's happening in the crowds or some people are getting a little ruckus, they'll send out they'll flash it every once in a while. Text this number and your aisle number, and we'll send assistance if you need it.
Okay.
If you text that number, I was one of the few people who went out there and took care of the issue, either escorted the people out or we had to get the cops if needed.
Oh my God. Did you ever have any like crazy?
Oh,
Like
I had to walk out a lot of people and then walk at least one person down to the jail underneath the stadium.
And do they talk shit to you the entire like?
Oh,
Get your
they
hands
are
off of me!
fairly inebriated, so they're always, "Oh, you're so tough." I'm like, dude, I'm tough and you're drunk. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Out of how many out of 10 are female?
Oof, one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would make sense.
The poor ladies, when they get too much, they normally fall asleep in their chairs. They're not up like the dudes. They're ready to fight.
So how old were you when you were working there?
Oh man, I had to be mid-20s, so I was in the prime of my youth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Now you're dying now.
Yeah,
so-
I'm already on the downtrend. I'm already in the mid-30s, and I'm looking back at my life, and I'm like, oh man, that was so much fun. I should have done more with that.
I keep asking myself, wait, am I having a midlife crisis? Like every little thing I do, I'm wondering, like, would I have done that last year, or have I
Yeah.
changed? Like, hold on.
I've had the exact same issue.
So you're grew up a Cowboys fan. Was that amazing when you got the job?
It was amazing when I got the job because it was something that I'd always wanted to do. Growing up, we always helped at the old stadium.
Okay.
We did like concessions and did little sales at the old stadium. And I used to remember going there with the family and then watching the game during halftime. You know, we would get little breaks and you would work in shifts. And when it came to the new stadium being built, I was like, man, this is right up the street. I need to get in.
Yeah.
So I remember my first day there. And of course, this is like the mecca of football stadiums because it was brand new. It was bigger than anything that had been created. And you're just standing in there. You're like, whoa, this is massive.
You're staying in a one big thing of electronics,
Exactly. One giant screen up there that you're like, I want to put my Xbox on that thing.
Oh my God. Have you ever gone to a game there? Just as a fan?
I've been to a handful of games.
Okay. Hold on, what was it? What time would you have on game day? What time would you have to get there at when you were working?
Working there, normally we would have to be there 4 to 5 hours before game day.
Okay.
Say if the Cowboys were the 3:15 game, we would have to be there at about 11.
Okay. And was it easy traffic getting in at that point? Is it still?
Starting out, it was a lot easier because we were able to park underneath the stadium for security. The stadium, the way it works is there's 2 main tunnels that go underneath the ground, and then there's like different parking areas depending on your level of VIP-ness.
Okay.
And of course, every parking level, if you're very, very special, you just get out of your car and get into a golf cart and they take you where you got to go.
Oh, cool.
But they used to have it to where we were parking in the bottom and then we would report at the bottom and then we would go up and disperse out into our assignments.
Okay.
Then towards the end of my time there, we had to park at UTA, which is the college that's near the stadium.
Okay.
Get bussed into the stadium. And then from the buses, you would walk into the main terminals, which is like gate A through gate F, clock in, and then disperse into your assignments. So they made it a lot harder to kind of get going because you could have bus delays or whatever.
Oh, God, bad weather.
Oh, it was horrible. And then there was there's no discourse. It was like, hey, you're supposed to be here at 11. It's 11:15. Well, the bus was late. That's not my problem.
So you stopped working there. Was that just a weekends job? Did you do work events as well?
It was per event.
Okay.
I did everything from cowboy games to monster truck shows.
Cool.
I actually have a funny story about the Jonas Brothers, and this is,
Let's hear it.
this was way back ago. So everybody that's like, oh, the Jonas Brothers, guys, this was back when they were famous, like really big.
Exactly.
They were still together. They were a big deal. But I was working what they called event staff security. So you were there for the VIPs.
Okay.
And you're underground You're at the very bottom level of the stadium, and you're basically just making sure no one's at the bottom that's not supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a Jonas Brothers concert, and you're like, okay, you're just looking for like tweens,
Yeah.
young kids who don't belong.
Uh-huh.
And I'm walking around there, and this little kid, it has no press credentials, has no backstage badge. And I'm like, hey, are you lost? Do you know where you're going? You need some help? And the kid just looks at me very matter-of-factly, and he's like, oh no, I know where I'm going. I'm just walking around because I got tired. I'm like, okay, are you supposed to be down here? And he goes, yeah, I'm supposed to be down here. Like, do you have some kind of identification or anything with you? I'm getting ready to kick this kid out.
Yeah.
Right. Signaling the people to come down here. Come to find out that the three Jonas brothers, who were the singers, had a younger brother named Frankie. And he was apparently, to like the fans of the Jonas Brothers, he's known as the bonus Jonas. That I didn't know this until my nieces and sister told me.
Oh, that's funny. The forgotten Jonas.
Yeah, I was trying to throw him from the stadium. And that was real fun when PR came out there. They're like, no, he's with the band. He's with the band. I'm like, well, y'all might as well send me home. I just look stupid.
Yeah, totally. How old do you think the kid was? Single digits or?
Yeah, if he was 10, I'd be very surprised.
Oh, okay.
And this kid was just walking around like he owned the place, and I'm like, dude, what the hell?
Oh, where do you see shows?
So it depends on how big of a show. We get a lot of indie promotions that come through here. We get a lot of ROH.
Mm-hmm.
ROH likes to go to Southside, which is like a small concert venue, but those shows are freaking nuts because we're piled on top of each other and we're all rabid fans, so it's amazing. WWE has had live events in the college here, which get really good. I hate going to WWE television because I feel like the TV isn't as good as the live events. So I don't go to TV tapings. I'll do their live events. AEW came to Garland, which they billed it as Dallas. But Garland is like a solid 45 minutes from Dallas. But they went to like a little amphitheater down there. That was amazing. But the state is huge, and I'm crazy. So if there's a show going on anywhere within the state that's not named El Paso, I'll drive to it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we don't have many choices. It's just Chicago, and then like some surrounding suburbs for like indie shows.
Just Chicago. You guys are like in the indie mecca.
I don't live in Chicago anymore. I moved downstate, so it sucks. Although I did, like, when I was like being upset about having to move here, I saw that Dynamite was coming to Champaign. I'm like, oh, great. So it's on their circuit. So that made things easier moving down here, knowing one day potentially if a vaccine or something, or I become invincible somehow. Hey, do you have anything you can show me? Any hobbies, interests?
I do. This one's probably going to get me in trouble. I collect a lot of wrestling memorabilia and autographs. And this one right here is a Y2J. He's in the jersey. He's got his signature there.
Wow.
I was fortunate to get this one because normally Jacob would have saw this before I did and he would have got it. But I was able to beat Jacob out because he hadn't joined the page at the moment that they started.
Oh, wow. And so you just beat him?
I beat him out on it. And like the whole night he was trying to tell the guy, I'll pay more for it. And I'm like, Jacob, shut up. I already won it. So how much do you not that you're going to do this, but how much would that go for? Autographed like that? I don't know. It's a older WWF figure. The autograph looks great. He signed it 11, so it was signed back in 2011. And I really just like it, man. If I know what I paid for it. If I was gonna do a little bit more than that, I'd probably say maybe 80 to 100.
Okay.
But that's got sentiment of value.
Oh, that's really cool. What else? So, what you collect, like 8x10s?
Yes, that's actually the next thing I have. I got two. Cool. I got two items left. I got this one here.
Keep them going. Let's see it.
It is a Tatanka 8x10, and the one that's so memorable about this one. This is my first autograph. If you can see it there, that's made out to Giovanni Tuhati.
Oh, cool.
And I'm a big fan of Tatanka.
Yeah.
And think the meet and greet happened with KNS right when I started really becoming active with the PWJ page.
Uh-huh.
And of course, that's where I got my name, Giovanni Tuhati. It was within our card breaks. So it was the first time that I was just having fun with it. I'm like, you know what? Tell them to sign it to Giovanni Tuhati. And they did it. And the rest has been history, as they say. I've kind of just had the name stuck.
Yeah, I've been getting everything signed like to Toilet Side Wrestling talk,
Yeah.
like I'm like, it's great because like I'll know it's me,
Yeah,
like
you can look back and you're like, man, that's amazing.
that was me. Like my wife's like, why don't you get it to your name? I'm like, well, it's still part
It's
of
still
me.
me.
Yeah, totally. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Let me see your next name. I'm sorry. And
Okay.
I can save my question.
We'll wrap up the last thing with the bigger thing.
Okay.
Normally I'm not a belt collector at all.
Okay.
I have 2 belts. One my sister got me for Christmas. I have to throw it out there because I'm not showing it and she'll be mad at me.
Okay, but allegedly there is a belt your sister got you.
Yes, allegedly there is one that's in my house that she got me.
Okay.
But the one I'm going to show is this big bad boy.
Wow.
And that is the TNA heavyweight title. And it is signed by the current champion, the best champion, Moose.
No.
So Moose and I are pretty cool.
Okay.
And through a couple of friends, I found out that number one, Moose was changing the strap color. So I've had this belt 2 weeks prior to Slammiversary when he debuted it.
Okay.
And I got a video from him and he was like, hey, if you want it, I'll send it to you. And I said, yeah. So Moose sends the belt and I get in the box. I'm like, oh my gosh, he signed it. It's got like on the other side. It is very heavy.
Yeah, that was going to ask you.
It's heavier than the other belts that I have.
Okay.
Yeah, but he did
awesome.
Yeah, he did it up, man. He signed the hell out of it. It's got my name on there.
Wow, what?
Moose.
It seems as if he went out of his way. This is really nice.
Yeah, man. This thing here, I have a few things in my collection that I say are untouchable.
Okay.
I've got a Eddie Guerrero 8x10 that's untouchable.
Sure.
I have a boot signed by The Undertaker that's untouchable.
Cool.
And this belt is untouchable.
If you hit me really hard in the head, or anyone, could that knock you out or give you a concussion? Is it that heavy?
I would say yes, because it is very heavy. It's so heavy. I've tried to hang it twice, and it's broken nails.
Really?
Yeah.
What? So how do you keep it displayed?
So right now it's kind of just sprawled out in front of my TV in the living room. I have a glass display case that I'm gonna put this in soon. I just have to stop being lazy and build it.
Well, it's supposedly going to be a very rough winter as far as the pandemic. So you have nothing but time.
I have nothing but time to get it done.
Quick question: Are you single, or are you single or attached?
I am single.
Okay. Is it important to you that whoever you meet is a fan of wrestling, or someone you can hypnotize really easily?
It would make it easier if they were a fan of wrestling, because if not, my house looks like a bad 40-year-old virgin take with all the stuff I have on the wall.
No, it's not that. First of all, the 4-year-old virgin shit was awesome.
I know.
It was amazing. That house. Yeah.
See, that's the issue with us, though, is we both were like, yes, that's awesome, but you're married.
Yeah.
I'm single. That's the difference.
I know. All my stuff is in a closet. It's displayed all nicely, but it's in a closet. That's my only place where I can keep stuff and no one's bothering it and everything that I can be proud of. So it's not a big deal that this person is a wrestling fan.
No, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a game breaker. It's not a deal breaker, but if there's any single wrestling ladies out there that want to get to know Tuhati, I am in Dallas. Let me know.
For sure. And we can throw up a phone number, a social security number, whatever. We'll talk about that off air, and then we'll pop it up. Okay, I want to jump to favorite wrestler of all time, favorite wrestler currently. And you can do
Favorite
multiple ones.
Great. All time it's a toss up between Chris Jericho and Cactus Jack.
Nice.
I've been a big time Jericho fan, man. I've seen his entire career, even the Mexico stuff where he was the Lionheart or in the Golden Lion, León de Oro. So I love young Jericho. I'm just a big fan of the way he's been able to reinvent himself and keep it fresh. And
He's had like 8 careers. You know what I mean? Because every time he reinvents himself.
Yes, there's been flash in the pan wrestlers who have been great for a minute and then they're gone. Like, all time, I think greatest wrestler who, if he would have been in it longer, would have been one of my favorites is the Ultimate Warrior.
Sure.
He was so good in such a small amount of time that, yes, he's one of the greats. But Jericho, what makes him one of, if not the greatest, is how long he's done it.
Yeah, it's incredible. Of all the guys that have come through the business, in our lifetime, he's been doing it the longest.
Yeah.
More than Stone Cold, more than like all these guys.
Yep. Who's that staying power?
So currently,
I don't want to sound like a mark. No. Currently, my favorite current wrestler is Kenny Omega.
Fine. Nothing to be ashamed of.
Oh no, it's just I shoot on him sometimes on the podcast or like when we're doing stuff. But I shoot on people because I genuinely like these people, so it's easy for me to take the other side because I know how much I feel on the other way.
Yeah, you're having fun.
Yeah, you're able to be somebody else for a minute. But currently, it's been Kenny Omega ever since the Bullet Club turn, the matches with Okada. Machine at his best. So Kenny Omega, and then I'll put in their honorable mention to Cody Rhodes.
Fine. Best show you've been to?
All In.
Oh, really? Yeah. That was amazing. I didn't go, but I'm jealous.
I've been to All In and then every AEW pay-per-view with the exception of the first Revolution.
So you've gone to Vegas?
Yes. I drove 23 hours to go to Vegas. That was
my next question. Really? Did you stop at all? And were you alone?
I had my best friend there with me.
Okay.
I was trying to get him into wrestling. That was his first wrestling event.
Okay.
We made 1 or 2 stops for food and like 3 stops for gas, but we drove straight through.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the weirdest road trips we ever did, man. It was after 23 hours, you start looking at the guy in the car with you, and you're like, oh, God, why are we friends?
Yeah, totally. We made it. I hate listening to this motherfucker chew.
Exactly. You freaking mouth breather.
Yeah. No. So wait, where do you stay in Vegas? Where did you stay?
So I got lucky and found an Airbnb that this guy had like this huge house, but he sectioned out the front end. It was kind of like a motel.
Okay. Was it clean?
It was very clean.
Oh,
it was one of my best Airbnbs that I've ever done was in Vegas.
Wow, that's awesome. Because you could, it could be that could be a little risky in a town like the city like Vegas.
Yeah, the worst one, we went the best one, so I'm gonna have to shout out the worst one real quick.
Okay.
In Chicago, we went. I think it was All Out. It could have been All Out, or it could have been another show in Chicago because they held a lot up there. But we got an Airbnb. It was a 2-story house. The lady's listing said that you would be staying downstairs. I was like, yeah, that's cool, whatever.
Sure.
Brother, it was not downstairs as in the downstairs part of the house. We were staying in the basement.
Okay.
And this basement had some weird smells. She had like these little scented orbs to kind of make it smell better. She's if it stinks, just kick this little thing with the jellies in it and it'll smell better in here.
If you hear scratching, just pretend you're asleep.
Oh, no. And then she tells us, when you guys leave, please don't go out the front door because I don't want them to know when I'm not home or when someone's not here because they'll break in, go through the back, make sure my cat doesn't get out. And I'm looking at my friend and I'm like, dude, you booked this because it's cheap.
Yeah. She's worried people are going to break in.
Yeah. She legitimate was like, there's 6 padlocks on the door. You don't ever go through the front door. You always go through the back.
Yeah, that's the neighborhood she lives in.
Yeah. That was my first time in Chicago.
Oh, God, I'm sorry about
Second
that.
time in Chicago because we were in All In.
All right. I am going to let you go in a moment. Excuse me. But I would like to play a Would You Rather game. Are you up for that?
I'm down for whatever.
Okay, here we go. Would you rather eat human hair on like a lobster roll with like spicy mayonnaise and like maybe like hush puppies on the side, or a bowl of cornflakes with bananas, but the milk is replaced with pool water?
Oh, I was about to take cornflakes because that's my jam, but I'm not down with pool water. I'll take the lobster roll.
Okay. Would you rather wear face paint every single day, or wear a wig on top of your real hair every day when you go out? You don't have to do this when you're at home, only out in public.
I would do face paint, and I would do the Papa Shango face paint.
Oh, cool. All right. Confidence. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Would you rather be the president of the United States, not Donald Trump, I'm saying like in the office of the president of the United States, or the president of baseball operations for the Rangers?
President of baseball operations for the Rangers, because God, we are sucking real bad and they're not doing anything about it.
Yeah, they've kind of like ever since like the World Series, teams.
Yeah,
it's kind of just they've been.
We
kind of
had our
floating
two
by.
chances, and that's pretty much what the management's like. Hey, you had your two chances back then. Remember when we went back to back and lost them both?
Yeah.
That was it, guys. I mean, hey, strap in.
Was Rod Washington the head coach? Was the manager then?
I'm going to say this, and it's going to be a very hot take. When Ron was here in Arlington, was the best time the Rangers ever had.
Yeah.
We had the World Series. Then we let him go for his little addiction issue.
Yeah.
I love Ron. If he ever came back, I know we could get back because they played for Ron. They played outside of their skill set for Ron Washington.
For him. I was telling my son the other day about Josh Hamilton, like the home run derby where he went nuts. Was he on either of those two teams? Yeah.
He famously ran into the wall at one of the World Series. I think he almost knocked himself out. And then I'm happy you just told him about the home run derbies because, geez, I thought you were going to say, I told my son about Josh Hamilton and how he was locked in the bathroom in Arlington doing some stuff and nobody knew.
No, they're not ready for that yet. The way they
Not
talk,
yet.
the way they talk makes it seem like they're ready for that kind of conversation, but they're not at all.
They're not ready like that.
All right, Giovanni Tuhati, where can we hear you next time?
Well, this Tuesday, which is whenever this airs, the following Tuesday, I will be on any of your podcasting needs, Spotify, Apple, Anchor, The Junkyard. Look it up. It's going to be me, Spencer Cantor, and DDJ, Dennis Day Jr. We have a lot of fun. Normally, we like to throw in a little wrestling roundtable about the week that's happened and then kind of get like a hot topic or an old school topic in wrestling and chew about that. And then DDJ and I take everybody to school and kind of give you if you don't know or haven't seen these matches by these wrestlers, give it a look. But yeah, either that or you can find me any day on the Pro Wrestling Junkies website. I'm always on.
Awesome. Well, it was so great sitting down and talking to you. I assume you're sitting. It's been great getting to know you, and we'll definitely have you on again.
Thank you very much, brother. I enjoyed it and enjoy your time doing this. This is amazing, and I just can't say anything good enough about this.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you online.
Yes, sir.
All right. Take care, man.